Today I've got another nasty repair to do on a windscreen pillar. This time it's on a BMW. As you can see, there's a lot of depth to the dent, and it's also got a couple of creases running right through the middle. So I've definitely got my work cut out for me in this repair. A whole load of glue pulling, tapping down and blending to get through, so let's go. So I'm going to start this repair with glue pulling. I've put a little bit of tape across the trim just here to make sure I protect it, don't leave any marks or residue. I've got my crease tab set up at the very bottom of this dent, and what I'm hoping to do is lift it from the bottom edge and take it towards the windscreen. So I want to try and finish my repair towards the windscreen and keep it away from the door, because I can't get to the lower section of that dent. Now I'm getting my glue to the right temperature, and that's about 26 degrees for ready to start glue pulling. A couple of pulls on my slide hammer and it just makes a very slight lift onto the lower section of the panel. It hasn't shifted much of the metal, but it's just lifted up that bottom edge a little bit. So now I'm switching to one of the large square tabs and really hoping to make some gains with this in terms of pulling out a lot of that depth. So again, attaching my slide hammer, giving it quite a few really good pulls here and just starting to feel that metal move. If you watch my slide hammer, I'm just starting to lift that up, taking that towards the windscreen as well. And that really helps direct my glue pulling in the direction that I want that tab to be pulled in. So that's taken some of the depth out of the whole area. So now I'm going to try and focus on the smaller dent out of the two. So just to the left hand side of my crease, there's a small round dent. So I've used a small tab. Once again with my slide hammer, I'm really starting to lift that panel up. And that time I definitely felt it move. So now as we take a look, we can see I've massively reduced the overall depth and size of the dent, and I've pulled up the small low that was to the left hand side. So now I'm really starting to move some of this metal. I'm gradually taking the metal from the lower section, bringing it up towards the windscreen. I can't really access the lower section where that trim is, right along that bottom line, so I want to try and take that lower section, lift it up, pull it towards the windscreen so that I can finish my repair this side. I've got a little bit more room here to work with and no room down at the bottom. Now as we can see from that small dent to the left, that last glue pull really did lift up the panel. You can see the more obvious crease running through. But let's have a quick look at what it looks like on the line board. And just here you can see the high where that last glue pull was so effective. So now a little bit of tap down work, tapping down some of the high that I pulled during the glue, but also just tapping around some of the tension points, some of the crowns, really directing that metal into the center point of my dent. Now working on that crease, I've set up a small crease tab and I've switched to my lifter. This gives me more precision to move less metal and really focus that force on the crease itself. You can see just slight movements bringing up that metal. And now for some more precision, I'm holding tension with my right hand and just tightening up with my left hand, apply more and more pulling pressure through the lifter itself. So I'll repeat this glue pull process a few more times, and now we'll have a look at the panel and see how we're getting on. So it's starting to come out really well and take shape. I've had some really good pulls with my glue pull setup. And with my tap down, I've really been working those tension points and keeping that nice curve of the panel. Here with the line board you can see the remains of some of that crease. Using my blending hammer, I begin to clean up the area. So I'm tapping the repair itself and also a small section either side of the repair, blending out into the existing finish on this BMW. I did a couple more glue pulls for some of those minor lows and then again finished with some blending. I was really pleased with how this repair turned out. When I first saw the damage, I'll admit I wasn't 100% sure that I'd be able to get all of the damage out. There was a couple of dents within a dent on the A-pillar and also that crease that ran right through the middle of the damage. But following the Paintless Dent Repair method, using hot glue to lift the lows, tapping down the highs, releasing that tension and understanding metal flow, we're able to get really good results. And most importantly, my customer was over the moon. I managed to avoid having to have his car into a body shop and his pride and joy being filled and painted. So I really hope you've enjoyed this repair, and I look forward to seeing you in the next.